Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Let's just dive right into it. Today, we're doing a full operational teardown of a top-performing structural design workflow. If you're a business leader, an agency director, or an entrepreneur, you already know that your visual identity is literally the front line of your brand. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you actually secure top-tier, commercial-grade branding without all the bloat of those traditional agency models? Well, we're going to explore exactly that by analyzing a highly successful real-world workflow to design a mascot logo with strong brand personality. I want you to really think about this for a second. Is your current internal design pipeline draining your operational capital? For a lot of decision makers, traditional creative processes are just a massive bottleneck. They cost way too much time, they eat into budgets, and honestly, the revisions can just drag on for weeks. You're paying for overhead, software seats, idle time, the whole shebang. But what if there was a leaner, much more agile way to get the exact same, or honestly, even better, results? So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the corporate design pipeline. 2, benchmarking the agency model. 3, deconstructing service level tiers. 4, overcoming brand identity challenges. 5, the economics of outsourcing. And finally, 6, protecting your brand equity. All right. Kicking things off with Section 1, the corporate design pipeline. Our methodology here is what we call an operational teardown. We aren't just looking at a freelance service profile for some quick inspiration. No, we're treating this as a prime, data-backed case study in scalable visual branding architecture. The goal here is to benchmark efficiency, figure out exactly how to slash overhead, and optimize how you get those final visual assets. Moving right along to Section 2, benchmarking the agency model. So the crucial first step is finding the right benchmark. For this, we're analyzing the workflow of a professional graphic illustrator named Jeroma who operates over on the Fiverr Pro platform. Just look at these metrics for a second. This is definitely not your average amateur setup. This is a full-blown commercial-grade operation. He's a top-rated seller, he's been consistently delivering since 2015, and he maintains a staggering 4.9 rating across nearly 4,400 reviews. Plus, he has a 1-hour average response time. That is insane. It perfectly illustrates what a highly vetted, Adobe-certified level team actually looks like when operating on a global, on-demand platform. It's built entirely for speed and reliability. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the resulting client satisfaction. When you're outsourcing vital corporate assets, trust is literally everything. Check out this review from a user named Mario_689. It highlights the exact kind of frictionless experience decision makers are desperately looking for. Zero hesitation, total compliance with super detailed requests, and just seamless delivery. This kind of social proof establishes the absolute credibility and professionalism of the model we're breaking down today. All right, Section 3, deconstructing service level tiers. Now, this pricing and delivery architecture, it's an absolute masterclass in scalable service delivery. For $75, you can get a basic 6-day sketch concept, which is perfect if you're a startup just testing the waters. But take a look at the premium tier, right there. That's the best-selling package. It offers a full-body design, unlimited revisions, and, crucially, high-resolution vector, JPEG, and PNG files. For corporate clients, having those scalable vector files is completely non-negotiable for print and digital media. The whole pipeline is structured so that you literally only pay for the exact level of complexity and utility that you need. And then there's this little number, $30 an hour. This is a flexible hiring option they offer alongside the fixed tier packages. Now, why does this matter? Well, because enterprise leaders and agency directors frequently need long-term project flexibility. Say you're integrating an external designer into a much larger ongoing campaign. This hourly rate caters perfectly to agile project management. And the best part? It doesn't lock you into a rigid corporate salary. Which brings us to Section 4, overcoming brand identity challenges. I really want to introduce you to a specific portfolio piece from this creator, Mobotics Landscape Services. This is just a brilliant, concrete example of overcoming a highly specific corporate branding hurdle. Because, it's one thing to draw a nice picture, it's entirely another to actually solve a business problem through design. Let's step through the pipeline of this project together. Step 1, the client goal. Mobotics needed to appeal to both residential and commercial clients. They wanted an identity that felt innovative and efficient, but still friendly. Step 2, the challenge. How on earth do you make a high-tech robotic concept feel trustworthy instead of cold or overly mechanical? And Step 3, the execution. The pipeline delivered this really clean, approachable robot vector design, perfectly integrated with bold typography that didn't feel cluttered at all. This is exactly how you translate a target demographic's psychological needs into a final commercial-grade visual asset. So the absolute crucial point is right here in this insight from the project. Early drafts leaned too mechanical, which risked alienating customers. This brilliantly illustrates exactly why you need a designer who actually understands the psychological impact of brand personality. A logo isn't just a cool picture, it's the visual handshake of your company. If it feels too cold, it's going to alienate customers who are looking for dependable, personal lawn care. This workflow allowed for that realization early on, and they pivoted to ensure the final product really resonated emotionally with the buyer.
Now let's talk money in Section 5, the economics of outsourcing.
Consider the stark contrast between these two models for a second. On one hand, traditional full-time hiring brings massive overhead costs, full salaries, benefits, expensive software licensing fees, and of course, a super lengthy onboarding process. But conversely, the agile Fiverr Pro talent model gives you on-demand, scalable graphics. It actively saves your operational capital. You take on basically zero traditional hiring risks, and you gain immediate access to vetted experts. Whether you're managing this directly or through strategic affiliate partnerships, this kind of on-demand architecture is rapidly becoming the gold standard for lean business operations.
Finally, Section 6, protecting your brand equity.
Let's summarize the core takeaways from this operational teardown. By optimizing your design workflow using proven, scalable platforms, you drastically reduce your overhead costs. You completely bypass lengthy onboarding. You can rapidly deploy commercial-grade visual assets whenever the market actually demands it. You ensure you're always getting clean, scalable vector files that are ready for literally any medium. And above all else, you protect your overall brand equity. You absolutely do not have to compromise your visual identity just because you're running a lean operation. I want to leave you with one final provocative thought today. Take a hard look at your own operations. Is your current brand architecture built to scale, or is it built to stall? If you're still relying on slow, rigid design pipelines, it might be time to rethink your strategy and tap into the agile networks of top-tier professional talent. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to get out there and optimize your B2B graphic design delivery system today.